welcome to Just One Cent. My name's Jared. We're here with the Imaginary Friends, and today we get to interview two guys, Gage and Seth. Their names will be here. Of To Speak of Wolves, not Wolves at the Gate. Two close band names. They're not the same people. But we're looking forward to this interview. It's the second one we've ever done, so let's get it going.
Wait, hold on.
Oh,
Who are your imaginary friends?
That's our name.
But who are they?
What's funny is we're actually real people. There are no imaginary friends.
Dude, you can't do that to people.
You guys are liars.
We're terrible people to start this off with. Okay.
Sick people.
All right.
First question we want to ask, we want to get started with the lighter side of things before we ask them in their social security numbers and stuff like that. They didn't know they were going to get asked that, but here we go. Which one of y'all is probably the nerdiest of the band?
It's definitely me.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I took a poll before, we prepared for the interview, and it was unanimous. It was me.
Seth. But the thing is, though, I mean, we're all pretty nerdy. Like, all of us love planets and like on the drive.
We were talking about our idea of how big the galaxy is and space continuing to expand and lots of things. We're just a pretty nerdy band.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
I was thinking like your favorite cartoon, but planets and the size of the universe.
We talk about that too. I mean,
Calvin and Hobbes.
Calvin and Hobbes for me. We were really into Rick and Morty.
Oh, okay.
It's a cool cartoon. It's really gnarly. If you're not an adult, don't watch it. But it's funny because it's relevant scientifically to the time frame, and the humor is it's both really easy to grasp, and then simultaneously like there's some you're like, oh.
Really smart humor.
Yeah. So it's fun.
That's pretty cool.
Hey, ladies.
Hey, how you doing?
I just want to say what my favorite cartoon is, since he said his.
Okay.
And I love Metalocalypse, which kids should also not watch. It's terrible. But then on the drive yesterday, while Seth was driving, I was watching Cadillacs and Dinosaurs.
Which super good cartoon.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
All right, next question.
What was? No, okay, I'll watch it later. Like on your daily grind, what's like the one thing y'all can't go without?
Coffee.
Coffee.
At least the two of us. It's not the same for everybody in the band, but so
Some of them not old enough to drink coffee yet.
Everybody's old enough.
Oh,
fortunately.
Old enough.
I have a French press cup, trying to save money and make it so my wife will continue to let me go on the road. But he's a Starbucks guy, and we'll drink any coffee. So if you want on our guest list, coffee is an easy way to do that. Just hit the DMs.
We'll get you on
Also,
there.
Starbucks gift cards. We're going for that gold membership.
I'm on.
You're on the golden.
I missed mine. I need 100 more stars, but I missed mine.
All right. What's going back to the nerdy thought for a second? What's like your favorite part of music from a musician's aspect?
My favorite part of music would be the ability to give me goosebumps. Like you can be a whatever band, seem out whatever, but if it's passionate and it gives me goosebumps, like I am all about. Like I was watching Conspire. We're on tour with Conspire right now, and Rival Choir, and man, watching the dudes in Conspire last night, like they gave me goosebumps, man. Like Parker is such a great frontman, and you can just tell that dude just genuinely believes and loves what he's saying, and I just really admire that. So that to me, it's lyrics and just the passion behind it. So
That's
yeah.
awesome. What about you?
To me, it's a little bit of, you get into the mathematics of music, which is actually funny for me being a bass player. It's really rhythmic, and while we have songs that are in really weird time signatures, I've spent so much of my career playing by ear that it's really like I just vibe through everything, and it's fun to try and go back and think about it. But between that and just really like the way that people choose to stack things, like you think of parts that are syncopated, like guitars and bass both, you have these moments of where you're keying in on the hi-hat, or you're keying in on the kick, or cymbal stops, or whatever it is, and like choosing these moments that are punctuation to a musical sentence. I really dig that. And then just harmonies, like you think of bands that just find this way sonically to create something huge, like in Lost in the Sound of Separation. They have this moment right before the bridge of, I forget the name, I think it's Emergency Broadcast, but it's possible that's not the right name. But it's just this big, like, huge 3 or 4 part harmony where you have keys, you have the dueling guitars, and you have bass, and they just make this big resonant note. And I remember just nights blasting it through my car and that moment happening and it just being something so incredible. I like to think sonically of what we're doing and where our tones are at. Andrew and I are both really meticulous, and so live we really try to hit you with the full spectrum of what there is to offer. And
That's awesome.
so that's the stuff I get really excited about. We love talking about gear. If you want to know or want your ears chewed off about it, we'd love to talk to you.
What then is your biggest inspiration when it comes to music? Like maybe you mentioned in Lost in Sound Separation. Was there any other big inspirational or anything that inspired you to get into music?
Sure. Well, I mean,
My biggest inspiration in music is Sturgill Simpson, and
come on.
he is, man. He's my all-time. It's Sturgill Simpson, Ryan Bingham, and Chris Stapleton. And I like heavy music. I like O Sleeper, and I like Norma Jean, and I listen like Parkway Drive, like when I pretend to work out and stuff like that. But yeah, I really like on the heavier side of things. I love like Baroness. I've been listening to the new Baroness record quite a bit, and I think that's awesome. But man, mostly every day I just listen to Sturgill Simpson, and that's really about it. He's my all-time favorite.
Okay.
So for me, it could be really anything, but like right now, I love Architects. Mm-hmm. There's just something so calculated and precise about their music. I love that. Anytime, it's interesting because Misery Signals kind of has the same dynamic. You have the writing guitarist and the drummer are twins on both bands, and they just like there's this togetherness that you don't really. Absolutely. But you just get this on the same page that like you really don't get anywhere else. I love that. Sam Carter's vocals are insane, which is fun because he kind of came about as that, not really the metalcore kind of resurgence, and you have While She Sleeps and all those other bands that these guys like finding a unique voice in the midst of everybody can scream, and you can do really big highs, you can do lows, you can do mids, and they do the combo vocals, but these guys just found this sound in the middle of that is unique. That's really inspiring, and trying to be cognizant of what we're doing when we sing live and sounding like ourselves and working really hard to create that. And then musically, I love Sigur Rós, and that's my wife's fault, so thank you, Sweet Pants. But they can do something to you with their music that I don't know another band that comes even close. And then so Jonesy's side project stuff, like I love How to Train Your Dragon, and so he has this really whimsical, uplifting thing, and so just really finding ways to articulate the idea that you want with music that's not just like, oh, this song's about this, but like you take the person there. Is really awesome. Thrice is another one. You can't get any better than the Alchemy Index. Like those records were those elements, and it's just trying to dig in and find a way to articulate sonically the ideas that you have like just so perfectly.
And collectively too, as a band, like we all love like Nirvana and like Alice in Chains and like all those like all the grunge stuff, man. Like we're just suckers, for all that stuff too. So.
But it was the heyday of rock and roll. Like you think now, so many things are like there's programming live, there's tracks, there's all this, and like we strive to be a band that's just like you hear live what you hear on the record, and we're the ones playing it. Like we've been doing runs. Yeah, we've been doing runs as a 4-piece, and like so for me it's fun like playing chords and parts where Andrew's playing a lead because I have to carry the low end and stuff like that. Like that's really fun because you don't want anybody to miss anything live, and that there's a way to accomplish it and it not take away from the sound but add to it. And you think of the parts, you have to play the right notes, you have to do that, but then finding tastefully a way to make it even, kind of take that what feels like a disadvantage at first and make it into a strength of where it's like, no, we really can manipulate this into being something that's even cooler live, because you're like, well, so you guys running the second guitar track. I'm like, nope.
Well, let's talk more about your music. Last September, y'all released New Bones, the EP, through Cardigan Records. Y'all were previously on Solid State, and y'all announced this week you're going back to Solid State.
Yep.
So how did that?
Not going. We're there.
Y'all are there already.
There.
Okay.
We're holding hands already and everything.
Look, I did that. I looked that up. I saw that today. Please forgive me. So y'all are back with Solid State, as announced Wednesday. What was the transition like? What was the EP like? How was that different than your previous records? And what's the excitement going forward?
So I mean, all of it was exciting. So to take it all the way back to the beginning, I think it was a Saturday night in April. Phil texted me, and he was like, "Do you want to do another record?" And I work at a restaurant in Nashville. I was playing in a rock and roll band that.
Was going nowhere, Seth, just say it.
Yeah, I was playing in a rock and roll band that it wasn't fulfilling what I wanted to do. 3 hours go by, and I look again, and he's like, "Dude, look at Facebook." And the post that was the picture of like a Marshall JCM 800 had like 18,000 interactions, and we were just like, what the crap? So we posted 2 more times, and it had the same kind of success. And so we really all took a step back, and what was just going to be like, we just wanted to make music again, because everybody had, regs jobs and stuff like that, turned into like,
it's come back, and
might be a thing.
Yeah.
So doing the EP was a whirlwind. I mean, what was it like for you? We did all of that in 7 days.
Yeah, it was really kind of a very easy transition to, like, we just kind of started writing. We did a couple runs with O-Sleeper, which is like really cool for them to take us out. So yeah, did some runs with O-Sleeper, and then we started like writing we all live in different states, and so, well, not the majority of us do. And so we started writing some stuff around, and then Andrew and Phil got together, and Aaron like wrote everything. Yeah, so we started writing, and then we went in, and like Seth said, we knocked everything out in 7 days, and we were back home. And then we put that out. We did a couple tours on it, and then so we just started talking to Solid State, and they're just like, "We'd love to have you back." We're like, "We'd love to go." Like, we're all in it to win it this time, So it's been very smooth, and Shane at Cardigan has been nothing but incredible to us.
Shane is the best. If you're an independent artist looking to make the jump, definitely look into Cardigan.
Yeah.
There's nothing like having the owner of your record label pick up the phone when you call him and be knowledgeable and care. Dude's got a huge heart. He does a lot of stuff in the community where he is. He's just an incredible person to have anything to do with. And then in the business end, like he wants to put out good tunes. He wants to do it right, and he kind of, not even kind of, he just does that despite the firehouse that we're. Go get 'em, boys!
Live interview.
Yeah, but Shane just will literally bend over backwards to make it what it needs to be. It's super awesome.
That's awesome.